There was once an orphan girl, forgotten by society, unnoticed by the world, but God was writing a story that would place her on the throne of the most powerful empire on earth. This is how a girl nobody knew became a queen everybody needed. The story begins in the Persian Empire, where King Xerxes ruled in unimaginable power. But after a moment of disobedience from his queen, she was banished from the palace. And suddenly, the throne was empty. So an empire-wide search began for a new Queen Suan, beautiful, poised, and worthy of the crown. Women from every province were brought to the capital. But in the middle of this massive empire, there lived a quiet young girl named Hadassah, known to the world as Esther. Esther had no parents. She had been raised by her cousin, Mordecai, a man of wisdom and faith. But Esther carried something even more important than beauty, a secret identity. She was Jewish, one of God's people living in a foreign land. And Mordecai warned her, "Do not reveal who you are." So Esther entered the palace with a secret that would one day save millions. Among hundreds of candidates, Esther stood out, not because of her status, not because of her wealth, but because God's favor rested on her. And when the king saw her, he chose her. The orphan became queen. Esther didn't know it, but she was placed in the palace for a battle she never asked for. A man named Haman, one of the king's officials, became furious when Mordecai refused to bow to him, and in his anger, Haman plotted not just revenge on Mordecai, but destruction of the entire Jewish people. He tricked the king into signing a law that would wipe them out. When Mordecai heard the news, he sent a message to Esther, saying, "You must speak to the king. Your people are in danger." But Esther knew the truth. Approaching the king without permission could mean death. She hesitated. She was afraid. She wondered if she was too small for a moment this big. And then Mordecai sent the words that changed everything. "Perhaps you were born for such a time as this." Esther made her choice. She told Mordecai, "Pray and fast with me." Then she walked toward the throne, knowing it could cost her life. But when the king saw her, he welcomed her through wisdom, courage, and divine favor. Esther exposed Haman's evil plan. The king reversed the decree, and God's people were saved. An orphan girl became a queen, but more importantly, she became a hero. Esther's story proves one thing: God can use the least expected person at the least expected moment to make the biggest difference. And maybe, just maybe, you were born for such a time as this. Subscribe for more powerful Bible stories.